Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Michael here. Welcome back along. We are. Well, this is Monday evening today, and we have just finished moving on some more sheep. These are some of the young lambs that we've separated off, and they are in their field now, looking kind of happy with themselves. So we're just going to leave those guys here. They've got a lovely view over the river. So we're just going to leave them to get settled in there, and we'll be bringing a few more in over the course of the week, I think, and like kind of bunches of 5. But yeah, quite happy with how they're all looking there, I must say. Moving on, we're going to go back up to the main yard now. Like I said, it is Monday evening. We're not going to do anything too much, but I just thought what we'd do, like we did last time as well, as walk you through some of our equipment, really. Kind of show you what is what. Let's get our truck started back up. Nothing coming in our mirrors, and away we go. So it's been a beautiful day. We've finished David finished drilling that large field the other day. That is all done and dusted, and now we've got a little bit of spraying to do for some of the winter crops that are nearly ready, and then we're looking pretty healthy actually as far as it goes. Really shouldn't be too far away before we'll be getting the combine out, which is why we're going to head back up to the yard now. We're going to have a look at that combine to see what's going on with it. David is actually away today with father, which is always worrying when those two go off. They've gone off to have a look at the farm sale somewhere, which is always concerning because it always means they come back with something, typically with an engine in there. And well, we'll see. They muttered something about the baler tractor. I don't know what they were talking about there, but hey, we'll see what comes back. But yeah, they're away having a look at that all day today. And then after that, yeah, everything else is kind of looking good. We've got the rains are over with for now at least. We've got a bit of a break. I'm actually going to have a look at some hay tomorrow, or some grassland. See if it's anywhere near fit to be mowed down, and we can get a start on the hay, which would be excellent if it is. I'm not 100% sure what it's like, but that would be huge if we can actually get started on cutting some hay, and we will see. But yeah, beautiful evening here in Tipperary. Really is nice. Been a glorious day, as I say. Thank you ever so much, I should say. David and I were looking through some of the comments recently, and we saw a whole bunch of you from various corners of Ireland. Thank you ever so much for everyone for letting us know where you are and what you're getting up to. It's really good to hear. Perfect. And you know what? For now, we'll just swing this around. About here, because we're going to have a look in the Grange store today, and the equipment that we have lying in there. Now, that is our shiny grain bucket. We have our own combine, we have our own grain trailers as well, and we have this big grain store where we do try and store everything where possible. And here we are. There's also a few tanks in here of seed and pesticides that we were kind of had a little excess left over. So let's have a look at the old girl herself first. This is the Class Mega Dominator 208. We bought this, I think we bought this about 15 years ago, give or take, and it is beautiful actually. It still sings along for what we need. It is more than enough. It has an 18-foot header on there, and it is we keep it in great condition where possible. Gets serviced, gets looked after. Means that we can do our own work comfortably. We can also get a little bit of extra contract work if it's there, but we don't have to worry about it. Stays inside, out of all the elements. Starts on the button, and it's a really good machine actually. Quite a few drum hours on the clock so far. I think it's got about 2,500, which is, for its age, is actually really good. In general, it's quite a lot for a combine. Engine hours on here are a little bit more. I think they're around 3,000 and a bit, but that's to be expected. And then yeah, the header is in good condition there. We just recently went through and replaced all the cutter knives on here, so it's ready to roll really. It will be started up and kind of run over once, I think, in the next week, 2 weeks, just to make sure everything else is looking good. And then yeah, we'll be very happy with that. Now over here, we have our 2 grain trailers. Now these are quite a special grain trailer. A local fabricator made these. Now they are pretty much old tipper lorries really, and you can kind of see that the chassis of the tipper lorry ends about there. And so you imagine the cab and the front wheels would have been here, and they cut that off and put a whole new trailer drawbar on there. And they did this with a lot of old construction lorries and just haulage lorries. And yeah, they're a great little trailer. Actually, hold about 12 ton a week when it's full, and it's very smart. Good brakes on it because it was a road-going vehicle at one point. Great brakes, great tires, great metal frame as well. Really is good. And then we've looked after them ever since. We got one originally about 6 years ago, and then the other one arrived not long after that. Because yeah, we really liked it. And to be honest, the price of a new grain trailer these days, it scares me. So we would we'd never look to kind of get rid of these. Again, they're kept inside. They're not used for muck or anything like that. So they're just used for carting grain around, and they're in great nick for it. So they do us perfectly. And yeah, even the 77 can pull one of these quite handily. And of course, we put one onto the T7 as well. And that's all we really need. It does the job for us perfectly well. And then, like I say, this store is used to, well, we tip as much grain in here as we can physically squeeze in, really. We've had it before where the door would just about shut, and it got pretty high. We have to put like boards up here, and then the slide and shut door can still shut. But yeah, that's how we operate. That's our little system we have going. It's for what we need for the acreage that we currently have there, it is more than enough. And yeah, I think we'll be rolling with that for a while to come. Morning folks, welcome along. It's Tuesday today, and I have just been to pick up a bit of equipment that David, brother David Wayne bought yesterday. And this is not the only bit. He is actually following up in the New Holland with another piece on the back. A couple of pieces actually. He went crazy, to be honest. I should have probably gone with him to check, but you might be able to see in the mirror, and we're gonna have a look at it in a little bit more detail when we pull into the yard here. But we've got ourselves another mower. We're gonna have two on the farm now, which is quite exciting. I think the opportunity really was just there for us to take it at a good price, so it seemed very daft not to. So yeah, we've got a new. We've now kind of increased our mowing capacity up to, what's that going to be, about 7 meters in one pass, which is pretty cool. So yeah, let's just kind of leave this here. David, by all accounts, is not too far behind. I did overtake him at one point on the main road there, so he's coming. If I left the blinker on the tractor, how long has that been on for? Let's get that off. Excellent, we'll jump out. So yeah, you shouldn't be too far away. I'm coming there now, I can hear. And yeah, so we've upgraded a few little bits and pieces here. We found something that I didn't think we were going to find. It's an absolute treasure of a tractor, actually. So we've increased our machinery line up here a little bit with an absolute gem. But this is our mower. This is a Pottinger mower. This is a side rear mounted. It does lift up behind the tractor, so it's a great looking piece of equipment, actually. Really good condition. It's a few years old, but you wouldn't really be able to tell it. Looks fantastic, and that'll probably go on to well, that could quite easily go on to any of our other tractors, really. The T7 will probably just keep pulling the larger 4 meter mower, just for the weight, really. It balances it all out a little bit more. And I think I hear him coming somewhere. I hear something. There he is. And look at what he's bought. Absolutely glorious, folks. The trailer is not ours, I will say that to begin with. The Ford 6810 is a new recruit of ours, which is fantastic. I really do love that. And then we've picked up this second-hand grass roller, actually, which is looking pretty shiny, but we just needed something to help with our... and we haven't got one, actually. The last one we had, the bearings shattered on there and the frame was half rotten, so we picked up a new one. It's looking pretty darn good, I think you'll agree. And it's going to be added into the fold, so a rather nice looking setup here, really. We're going to get these unloaded. We'll need to get the T7 for the mower, and then yeah, we'll figure that one out as well. So we'll get these unloaded, we'll have a bit of a look around them, and they're kind of good to go, really. So watch this space. We'll get to use these further on through the week, I should think. We're starting to get ready to mow very soon, so yeah, we'll get these fired up and get them into some working order. I fancy sticking the tether onto the back of this as well, just to see how it likes it. So watch this space. Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome along, it's David here once again, and it is Wednesday. We are mowing hay. Well, what's supposed to be hay, we might actually get a few headlands off here as silage bales first. I'll have to get someone in to come and do the wrapping, but we might just make a little bit, because there's going to be a fair bit of grass this year. Kind of makes sense to do that. So I'm out in the T7, I've got the 4-meter Kuhn mower on the back, and then behind me I've got Michael in the new tthe, and he's pulling along the new plunger mower that we picked up recently, which is a very nice looking machine actually, and it's going along very handily indeed. So we've got two mowers working within the region of around about 7.5 meters combined, and yeah, it's so far so good, I would say. We're going to get this field knocked down only today. We might do the headlands in the neighbouring field, we'll see how we're looking, to be honest. But yeah, ultimately very happy with how it's going so far. It's mowing out dry. Both of these mowers actually, we've got them set up to spread the swaths out quite wide so the sun will get to it and dry it out. And then next thing we'll be doing is giving it a bit of a throw around with the tether and the bloomin' glorious 6810 that we picked up. I can't wait to show you that in a bit more detail. It looks brilliant. We haven't used it really yet. It's on the tether now, ready to go. It's a fine looking machine. It's got a lot of hours on there. It is an old girl, but it's a good girl, and it's yeah, it's a real gem. Now we always wanted something else to put onto the tractor, onto the baler, so that the 7740, which is currently on our sprayer, has spraying wheels still on it, and we want to keep those on there for a little while longer. And these two new machines, well, they're a bit big really to stick onto an idiot brick maker like that. So yeah, that's why we're kind of gone for this, and I'm quite happy with it actually. It should pull that New Holland baler without any problems for the next month of Sundays really. So very happy to see that. We're not going to be baling any idiot blocks this time around. We're actually going to be doing that in the next cut we make, because we're still quite early here, so we should get another cut off these two fields comfortably. Give some time to put something onto the ground as well, be it nitrogen, or maybe if we can get a bit of muck from somewhere, we'll stick that on as well. But yeah, so far so good. Bales are singing around, as you can see. And yeah, very happy with how it's going. We'll do 6 headlands. I think that should be sufficient, and then we'll get the main block done really. And then after that, yeah, we're off to the races, as they say. Let's just slow down there, take that corner, and away we go. New Holland sings along with this mower on there. As it is 4 meters there, it can throw around the smaller tractors a little bit. Oh, where am I going? Get over there. It can throw around the smaller tractors a little bit with the weight, so I typically just put it onto this one and it bosses it really, not a problem at all. But yeah, so this field here is a fair size. It shouldn't take us too long though with the two machines on it, and then we'll get that done. Off to do the headlands. Well, typically the weather we've got planned right now, we've got a good block coming up, so we should see that we'll get a good 4 or 5 days of drying time. I think would be sufficient with what the forecast is looking like at least. And then we'll see how it goes from there. So if the forecast is going to allow it at least that, I think we'll just let this sit, throw it around once, should just about do it, and then we'll get it raked up and baled as well. So all looking very good indeed. We've got quite a few square bales, so I want to make in the region of about 500 to 1,000 square bales if we can, small square that is, just to kind of supplement our current orders for the equestrian market that we have, which is something that we do get quite a good little turnover in revenue from. So if we can continue to honour that, that would be great. And then yeah, it kind of sets us up. So yeah, lots to do. We're kind of getting into busy season now, which is really, really good. Very happy about that, and we'll just see how we get on with this really. Around there. Perfect. So we'll do 6 headlands this way, like I say, and at the end we'll do that one bit next to the hedge that we've missed there. That can be our 7th. I always do 7 because then the last headland on the inside kind of gets mixed up when the tether's lifted up and down, so kind of gets written off really. Our rake will put these 2 of these passes into one quite comfortably. Yeah, we are cruising along. How have you been anyway? It's been a while since we've been in touch. We've been a little bit busy, but hey, it's always good to be busy. Kind of getting all of our crops into a position where they're good to go, which I think we're about there now actually. We're really not too far out. But yeah, the beautiful Irish weather at the moment is really kind of keeping us going. We're going to make the most of it whilst we can. Quite literally make hay whilst the sun is shining in this instance. So that's what we'll do. We'll get these all knocked down anyway. As I say, we're kind of cruising along very nicely indeed at the moment. I'm just going to swing wide a little bit here. Oh, there we go. Perfect stuff. And we'll continue along here. So we'll keep cracking. There's a fair bit to do. But we'll keep rumbling through, and then we'll come back when we're going to be throwing this around later in the week and see how it's all coming together. Well, good afternoon, folks. How are you all doing? It is Thursday today, so the grass has been knocked down for a couple of days. We just did that one field there. Mowers are all kind of just resting for the moment. There's not a lot for them to do until we get this first field done. So today we're going to go and jump out into the 6810. Which has the tether on the back. It fits it perfectly, actually. Really nice little setup. And this is a beautiful tractor. This was restored about 2 years ago. It's had 8 and a bit thousand hours on the clock when it was restored, and this looks perfect. It's in mint condition, really, really is. So we're going to jump in. And let's get this guy fired up. Oh, whoa, the rattle. So we used to have 2 of these on the old farm, and then we had one was 2-wheel drive and we had one 4-wheel drive, and that's where kind of father's love addiction with New Holland, or with Fords back then, came in, and we never really changed from there. We had a couple of TWs, TW15 and a 25 at one stage as well, when we got kind of progressing through. And then yeah, along came these ones. We didn't need the TW25, that was a bit big, so we went back down to 2 6810s, and yeah, just beautiful machines. Really, really, really are. So yeah, we're gonna put this to work, just see how it handles running along with a bit of a kind of, what would be 1500 RPM, just to see how it handles that, just ticking along with the tether on the back. Not much of an ask, but it'll be a good little push for it. And then after that, yeah, we'll get this. It could go onto the rake. It's likely just going to go straight into the baler. I think we'll put one of the other tractors onto the rake, because I think more than anything else, the hydraulics will be a little bit too slow for the lifting up of the rotors. But hey, we can only find out, right? Quite a bit of grass on here in the end. It's mowed down very well, and yeah, we're just going to go in there and throw it around a little bit now. I think we're going to leave the headlands, because that's just going to be raked and baled and silage on this field. Probably going to do that tomorrow, actually. That'll get videoed at some stage. But yeah, so we'll leave the headlands, and then we'll get that all raked up there, and then yeah, the rest of it will be the first bit of hay for us, which is quite exciting to get onto it at this stage. Now, before we go any further, let's just spin us around. And we'll just pick a spot to start, somewhere where we can get quite a good long rip up, I think. There we go, stop there. Make sure we're looking all good. What a beauty. What an absolute beauty. Yeah, the rake's looking, tether's looking good. Tether's in beautiful condition. I love this old tether of ours. It really does work well. There we go. Ooh, listen to it purr. It's liking that. See, down it goes as well. Oh, happy days, we're off. So this will do, what will this do? In the region of kind of 2 rows, I guess. We'll see, maybe 1 in a bit actually, so we'll just have to kind of judge it and guess it really, but we can do that. And we'll get this all tied up in the end. It's a nice little bit of equipment, this. Looking forward to getting this tractor on the baler, actually. Doesn't have any aircon, so it is swelteringly hot in here today, but, well, I think we'll just have to kind of stomach that one. I'm not about to fit aircon into this, that's for sure. And I'm sure brother doesn't really care too much for it either. Oh, I haven't been very straight there at all, have we? Good grief, we have to get that sorted out. So this is why we kind of do a second, we have a 7th headland, just so we don't really start chewing into the headlands too much. There we go. Perfect stuff. And off we go again. So just like that, we're going to keep flying through this field. It really won't take us too long at all. The tractor seems to be handling it fantastically well. So we'll get this all done. Before you know it, it'll be dry and we'll be able to get the baler into it and fly through it. We'll get to the end of this row already, just have a look at what that's looking like, because it's looking pretty bone dry already actually. Now we got this cut on a really hot sunny day, which is great news, because when you do that there's typically a lot more sugar in the grass, which means the grass is of a higher nutrient quality, which is good, so make some good hay. I'll just knock that off for a second there and have a look at it. So yeah, it doesn't seem to be too bad. There's a few bits that we missed on the mower. That must have been Michael, not me. And yeah, it really does start to look a lot better. So we'll get that rigged up. I'm sure it's going to do us a world of good. At this stage though, I'm going to continue because it is a bit loud in there and I'm not sure quite how well it's coming over on the camera. But yeah, that's our new rig and it is going to be a fantastic addition. So we'll leave it here. Thank you ever so much for watching. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you have, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button to Simulation for the Nation, who very kindly agrees to host all of our ramblings on here. And we will see you in the next one. So until then, have yourself a great day. Enjoy what you're doing as always, and we'll see you later.